office was there, and the state-owned entities from the continent was also part of the research. And then our service providers, the logistics industry in Africa, which is also growing. Mining was represented, and also chemicals. Now, these are the breakdown of the companies that were involved. Chemical, oil, I differentiate chemical and oil in this research. Pharmaceuticals, consulting, education, ICT, and the various logistics organizations. The respondent profiles, as I mentioned earlier, you had CEOs and directors, CFOs, chief operating officers, and then others. The others included technical and engineering director, mostly from the chemical and the agroceutical side, commercial marketing directors, and then CIOs, and then manufacturing and logistics directors in various companies. Now, they were also part of various professional organizations, including SIPs, the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply, Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, the Institute of Directors, and also our financial institutions, the Chartered Institute of Certified Accountants, and then also the Institute of Directors. Very, very high profile executives that were involved in this. Now, for the last 7 years or so, these were the questions that I've been asking them. One of them was obviously, how does supply chain function, affect when it comes to looking at the procurement aspects? In 2009, only 19% of these respondents said procurement affected bottom line performance. Now, in 2013, you see the jump, 32%. When you look at the other statistics, in 2009, 31% thought operations was the key. But right now, we see procurement is the key to bottom line performance. Because at the end of the day, it's the first input. You buy to feed the operations. Therefore, they are now seeing the light that procurement is critical to bottom line performance. Now, interestingly, I asked the question, service delivery quality, in 2008. I knew what was coming. The burning of ties in the townships and so forth. I saw it coming in 2008 because our government was not embracing procurement. Now, look at the statistics. In 2009, it was 19%. It's jumped to 26% in 2013. See where supply chain is. The CEOs now are embracing supply chain in a big way with procurement. 34% is jumped within the space of 7 years. Before, in 2009, it was 17%. Now, 34% of our executives believe that supply chain management is the key to service delivery quality. And it's not just in government, it is also in the private sector. Now, in 1999, when I first came, I was talking about industrialization and national development, Africa. How are we going to make a change for the African child? For me, it's not about me. It's for the future generation. How do we do it? And having lived in Europe, spent a lot of time in the US, I realized that it's the supply chain that has moved them forward. And the industrialization was to do with supply chain management. We need to understand the linkages. We are still exporting raw materials. And I'll show you what has been happening and the sudden mindset change. Now, I happened to have a discussion in the last month with quite a few of my executive director colleagues who took part in this. And it's interesting how now the blame is shifting. It's no longer procurement. They are now blaming us for the lack of industrialization. When you take, in my last public lecture, I spoke about the underwear. I can guarantee you that 99.99% of us in this room, we are wearing underwear which is not made in South Africa. It's a fact. We could check. Yes, and verify. At least those that are wearing some. Now, in 1998, you could buy made in South Africa underwear. It's gone. The shoes, gone. I went to the shops and I was just taking pictures. I went to the ladies' session. I went to the men's session. It's been an education for me as well.